my little buzzlings, and welcome to the Tea with B podcast. I am your host, B, and welcome to another brand new episode. Today, we'll be diving into the world of blockchain technology yet again, specifically focusing on Web3 mass adoption relating to eNFTs. Now, what are eNFTs? What's the difference between them and regular NFTs? And what does mass adoption really look like? Well, that is exactly what my guest today will be discussing and getting into. So make sure to check out the whole episode to get some knowledge. But before we start, I do want to say that everything in this episode is for educational purposes only. And while I am a blockchain enthusiast, I do want to say that please do your research, educate yourself on the benefits and the cons of this industry. There are a lot of amazing free resources that are available out there, such as Coinbase and a million others. I do think that you don't have to pay a penny to get any of these resources, because that's the point of this industry. You have to have everything available online. So please be very cautious when it comes to that. One website that I absolutely love is by Molly White, and that is Web3 is Going Great. So make sure to check that out if you want to see the downsides of this industry and some of the ways that scammers can kind of get you. So please be careful. As I always say, really educate yourself. Never really trust someone who says they're an absolute expert and they know everything, because you can't know everything in this field. It changes on a daily basis. The infrastructure is still growing. It's not fully there. So nobody can really be an expert. So you kind of have to take the lead and become a quote unquote expert yourself, because I'm really trying to watch out for you guys. I want to make sure that you're educated, but you're also aware of this amazing new world that is growing and growing on a daily basis. So without further ado, here's the episode. I'm very excited to have our today's guest, Eric McHugh. Welcome, Eric. I'm so happy to have you.
Thank you so much. I'm very excited to be here.
Exciting. Okay, so we were talking about mass adoption of eNFTs and the whole scale and Web3. Now, here, of course, is Eric. Eric, before we get into kind of what eNFTs are, how it applies to Web3 and to blockchain technology, let's talk a little bit about you. Tell us about yourself. Tell us specifically about your work history and how you ended up in this crazy fun world of Web3.
Oh, that's a really funny story. So nice to meet everyone. My name is Eric. I'm 29 years old. I'm lucky enough to live in beautiful Southern California. Hobbies include chess, Muay Thai, reading, and anything under the sun. In terms of work history, I interned as a consultant in Washington, D.C. and a project manager in Barcelona. My first real job out of college was at Snap Inc., helping customize their ad algorithm. So it's cool. I was there right before the right before the IPO, and right after I went to see what that was like. It was fun. After that, I joined a bankruptcy consulting firm. And so at that point in time, I was really getting into cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, and the ethos around that. And so if you know anything about cryptocurrency, it's about you can't rent seek or just sit in the middle and absorb value, which unfortunately at the time the bankruptcy consulting firm did. So essentially I was hired to sit there, work with lawyers, consultants, and Fortune 500 companies going bankrupt. I'd sit on my computer and I'd bill out to the client. Our company would get paid a lot of money, but honestly, that was money that should have gone to the creditors. Like if you're an investor in whatever, Rue 21, they go bankrupt, you would probably get like 4 cents to your dollar. So at that point, I was really reading all the literature about Bitcoin, all the podcasts, heavy into crypto Twitter, got a couple accounts banned, waited for my bonus, quit the consulting job, started going to crypto meetups because that's where I wanted to be. And that's where I met the original ShopX team. From there, 2016, the bear market happened. So we started a tangent company called Polylinear Cartrev. And that is a social commerce platform that replaced affiliate links. So as a Shopify brand, you upload your product, you upload a discount, you upload a commission. Us as customers, we can add any product we like, sell it, we get our commission, customer gets a discount, brand gets a sale, everyone's happy. We took that experience and we're revamping it back into ShopX. So, and that's where we're at right now. So ShopX is the bridge for brands to enter Web3 from Web2.
Amazing. And we'll get into ShopX a little bit later, but let's get into kind of your interest into Web3, into, of course, cryptocurrency initially. So it sounds like initially when you were working for huge consulting firms, you really wanted power to the people. And that's kind of really the theory behind Web3 and behind blockchain technology. It's giving power to the people. Is that why you're in this space and why you believe in it so much?
Oh, absolutely. On a personal ethos, I think I can't live a very peaceful life if the money system is in trouble. The money system, I think, can get saved by cryptocurrency. The best way for me to personally help onboard people to cryptocurrency en masse is through ShopX and eNFTs. So if I onboard like a major brand like a Nike, Adidas, a Reebok, Sephora, they use our products and services, get NFTs into the hands of the masses. And that's a 0 to 1 moment for a lot of people. So let's say they get 1 million customers. That's potentially 1 million new NFT holders. They have their MetaMask wallet, and then they start going down their journey of self-discovery at their own pace. And not only that, it's like with crypto, it's annoying because you hear about it, you never learn about it, but now they actually have skin in the game. They have this cool pass, like, what does it do? Oh, I actually own it. I can sell it. I can support my favorite artist without a record label taking like 50%. It's amazing. Let's learn more.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what everyone really wants, right? It's when you think about it and you think about these artists that are behind it, a lot of times they're taking pennies, and that's what this world is trying to change, is give the power to the people. And I'm really glad that you brought that up. And yes, education is most important when it comes to this, but you know, I've talked about cryptocurrency in other episodes, so check those out. But let's get into the concept of eNFTs. Now, I mentioned at the start, you've mentioned it when it comes to ShopX. Describe what eNFTs are in comparison to NFTs and what we think of them, you know, what most people will think of as NFTs. And if you can give some definitions as well, please.
I would love to, as this has been in the bane of my existence as of late. So when I think of NFTs, so for starters, Web 1, think of it this way. Web 1, you can read only. So you can go on the internet, you can read content. Web 2 is you can read and write. So think of like Instagram, Facebook. You can read other people's content and you can create your own content. But in that note, Facebook and Instagram, YouTube, they all own your content. In Web 3, you can read, write, and you can own. So you can read other people's content, you can own content, and you can't get canceled. So that's a cool thing. And this is all made possible through the use of NFTs. So NFTs, I consider them like private property on the internet. So for the first time ever, I could have an NFT of the Mona Lisa. Obviously now, like there's like millions of pictures that are out there, but if they ever do link 1-to-1 with that Mona Lisa, I am the verifiable owner of that Mona Lisa. So right now, NFTs, they started in a couple years back, like pictures of rocks. They elevated to pictures of like monkeys, cypherpunks. So to the outside world, they're just like, oh, there's monkeys like 500K. I don't get that. But it's also access to community. So if you're a Bored Ape, you have access to plenty of other people, the same mindset, which is a cool idea. But again, to the outside world, it's like a 500K monkey. I don't get it. So we're trying to add real e-commerce value to the NFT. So unlike a normal NFT, like any other collection that kind of relies on hype to build it up, our NFTs don't require help at all, because as a brand, I can launch my own NFT collection and then program an e-commerce benefits for the user for that NFT. So for example, let's say I'm Nike or Sephora. I launch my gold tier pass. This includes 500 people. 500 people then claim my pass, and then I can decide how to reward them. I can give them discounts on pricing. I can give them early access to products. I can give them access to in real life events. So you as a brand, you can see how you can work with the technology how you want. If you're an influencer, if you're a creative artist, if you're a rapper, and we've done this in the past, where it's like you're an up and coming artist. You have a small fan base, but you're growing. You have your first concert. You say, thank you for joining my concert. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to support me further, mint this NFT for me. Then that's your loyal fans minting your original pass. You as an artist grow big. Then you can keep adding benefits to that pass as a thank you for like, you're here when I was young. Enjoy all these benefits. I'm on Coachella. can come with me on Coachella. You can come to backstage now. So
Mhm.
stuff like that. So it creates a new relationship between brand and customer, creator and viewer
Mhm.
without the middleman.
Amazing. And so to summarize what you just said, so NFTs, originally what we think of them, non-fungible tokens, they're a little bit more of kind of a classic art, right? They're usually a very pretty digital art that is collectible, but what's growing now and what the point of eNFTs are is that there are benefits to them that people can get. So it's what you said a little bit earlier is you don't just own a $500,000 digital artwork, you actually get benefits. And I don't want to compare it to like owning a Costco card, but it's kind of like owning a Costco card because by owning this eNFT, you get benefits. Is that correct?
That's a fantastic way to put that. It's a pre-purchase loyalty program that can be passed down to your grandchildren.
Mm-hmm. Which is amazing. So talk about ShopX specifically. Now, you got into ShopX quite early on, and now you're trying to really make sure of this mass adoption for eNFTs. So talk about how you're doing that, how the business is structured, and as well as if you can give some benefits. And I know I'm asking way too many questions at once, but if you can give some of those utilities that you mentioned that people can get with eNFTs, whether, it's an actual, I mean, in terms of legal, we got to be careful, but whether it's an actual partner or, a fictional benefit utility that people can get, that people can visualize getting when they buy an NFT.
Sure. So it's important to note that ShopX, think of Google or Apple Web3. There's going to be multiple different products that fit multiple different needs for brands. Our current product that's live right now is Reserve X. That's a pre-purchase loyalty program for your fans. So as a fan, you can purchase a brand's pass and then you can get their benefits. And there are many ways we can do this. Our first customer is a Mag Park. They are a hypewear brand in Los Angeles. Their big issue is like their loyal fans would sit out there for days for their exclusive drops, but then celebrity would come in and buy all the hats, and then like a 17-year-old kid who waited outside wouldn't get one. So they launched their gold, silver, and bronze tier pass for their fans. They sold out 125 passes in less than 24 hours
Wow.
to their fans. And the cool thing is over 50% of those people were 100% brand new to crypto. Wow. And they were excited to learn. And after that, so from pass purchase to purchase of a product, the conversion rate is 80%. So if you can get 100 people to buy your pass, your conversion rate is going to be around 80%. So you have a better idea of how much product to produce. Mm-hmm. Another cool case study is with the Husky Jackson, famous Instagram dog on TikTok and whatnot. He had no product, but he has a community. He launched a pass prior to the release of his product. He launched a pass prior to the release of his product as kind of a Kickstarter effect. So he gained funds, he had proof of concept, and he was ready to go. Mm-hmm. Another use case was we were going to partner with a television series, and theirs was a one and done redeem pass. So you as a viewer, you purchase your pass, you claim a product, and then now you can do your makeup in real time with the same product as the main star of the television series. Mm-hmm. And we also have politicians, not that it matters, and charity organizations using our platform as a service just because it's so simple. Like a user can mint with Ethereum, or they can just use a credit card.
Mm-hmm. So get into a little bit more detail when it comes to that, because, you mentioned MetaMask, which is the most popular wallet to use. There's, of course, other ones, but describe people who are totally brand new to crypto. They don't really understand how to go about buying eNFTs or NFTs or really making any transactions with Bitcoin or Ethereum. So describe how ShopX is making that easier for an everyday consumer.
Sure. So as an everyday consumer who's completely brand new to crypto, your favorite brand, let's say Sephora launches a Reserve Pass. You don't have to know it's an NFT. So you just hear, oh, I buy this pass, I get 30% off all products. That's fantastic. How do I buy that pass? I go to a simple link. It'll be shopx.sephora- whatever the pass is called. And then from there, all you do is click buy with credit card. And so you have to have a MetaMask to claim the NFT. So you just download MetaMask. Again, it takes 3 minutes. Buy with credit card, put in your credit card information. In the back end, what's happening is our partner Crossmint is making the transaction in Ethereum for you, and sending that to the brand. But you don't have to know that. You're just putting your credit card information, the right amount of Ether goes to the brand, you get your NFT, and now whenever you log on to, for example, Sephora or whatever brand's website, those discounts will automatically apply during checkout, or they're doing like token gated access to products. You get access to those products when someone else won't.
Mm-hmm. Incredible. And Eric, I want to kind of backtrack a little bit. Something you said at the very start, and that's kind of been the thing with NFTs or eNFTs, is a lot of the times people who don't have a community can often fail, which is kind of a caveat of selling NFTs that people kind of forget about. But that's what you mentioned in terms of ShopX. That's something that you fix. You can go into it, with a community, which of course helps out. But what about those people who don't have a community but want to build, want to start? How does ShopX help with that?
Oh, it's perfect. So if you have a community, it's obviously fantastic. It's really easy, plug and chug community, buy this, earn these benefits. But if you don't have a community, you're an up and coming artist, you're an up and coming brand, all ShopX is an additional stream for you to create Web3 revenue with zero risk. So you're a new brand, it's like, okay, I'll just have another tab on the side. This is my pass. If you like my product, you want discounts on other products, you want special features, all you have to do is buy this pass and you'll be included going forward. So me as a customer, like, oh, I love this hat. It's amazing. I love this hat. I'm going to keep coming back. Oh, they have a pass too. Purchase, I get both, and I'm really happy.
Mm-hmm. I love that, which again, it's very important. Yeah, there's a lot of artists that can struggle because they don't have that community, and ShopX fixes that. Now, Eric, I know that you have very ambitious goals for ShopX, and that is that you want long-term for 80% of the eNFTs to be, through ShopX. Describe your goal and, how do you plan to make it happen? Why is it so important for you, and why you see it at 80%? Because that's pretty high.
Yeah, so first of all, it's going to be 80%, and it's going to happen exactly this. Reserve Pass and Reserve X is our loyalty program. We're going to have another, that's pre-purchase. Post-purchases, you buy a product, you get an NFT, you get discounts that way. But where most of our NFTs are going to come from is going to come from a product called SourceX. Mm-hmm. So with SourceX and other products like that, we want to attach eNFTs to each individual SKU as they come out. So imagine again, I like to use Nike. Every product you produces a SKU, and that's an identifiable number for your product. Each now has an NFT attached to that SKU. So you can track all that project history going down. So you're like, oh, this was sold once, twice, thrice, 4 times at this date for this amount of money. Mm-hmm. And you could even program in royalties. So every time it's sold, great, you get a little more cash. That's fantastic. Mm-hmm. At the consumer side, you're like, okay, I can track this product all the way back to the Nike factory. Oh, it's the real Nike shoe. Great, I'll make this purchase. And you can do some cool things with this. Like, for example, you're building a Lamborghini car. You can see where all the parts came from. They're all authenticated. Bam, I'm good to go.
Mm-hmm. And that's amazing too, the authentication part, right? Because that's one of the benefits of blockchain technology is you can always kind of track and look at everything. And something as simple as a SKU, I know people who work, that are in sales or in merchandising, a SKU number is consistent, whether it's, through the physical world or through the world of eNFTs, which is fantastic. Now, Eric, let's get into this question, and I'm sure you're dealing with it a lot, but you mentioned how when you first got into it, you already dealt with a bear market. Now, of course, right now we're in one as well. I won't mention some names who might have caused it to go even lower, but discuss that. So you've gone through one bear market, you've survived that, both personally and as a company, and the whole industry has survived. So how do you feel about the market right now? And what are some reassurances that you can give to people that are totally scared off? 2 years ago, people were a little bit more likely to cross that threshold into the Web3 world, where I find that, the fear factor is a little higher now. So how would you address that?
First off, I would say the fear factor is completely understandable. If you're new to crypto, the volatility can be quite threatening. For example, my mom's terrified right now. I'm like, Mom, stay here. Just know that this has happened multiple times in the past. It's a relatively fixed schedule based on the halving. So we're right on schedule. It'll pass. Crypto's here for the future. And it's just the way I choose to look at it. During bear markets, I get to buy Bitcoin for cheaper, Ethereum for cheaper. It's fantastic.
Mhm. And
So,
it's really great for, the builders, right? Because that's the consistency that I've actually heard. People who are in the industry and are continuing to build the Web3 world, they're not really worried. It's more of kind of, the news outlets that are portraying it, very polarizing.
oh,
So, I mean, I agree with you in terms of it being the future, but anything else you can say to people who are so afraid to even, open a MetaMask, which, I mean, it does take only a couple of minutes, and who are afraid to make those purchases, even though right now it's probably one of the best times, and especially in terms of the value that they'll get in the future.
yeah. So first off, I'm shocked that the news outlets are polarizing this. But just
I know.
I spend a lot of time in this space and dealing with people in this space. Everyone is overwhelmingly positive. Everyone's focused on building their products, and this is the best time to do it just because it's quieter. There's less noise. Gas is cheaper.
Mhm.
And for someone who's scared to open a MetaMask, again, I totally understand why. For example, if you do lose your MetaMask private keys, your money's gone, and that could be a terrifying concept for someone not in the space. So I guess step number one is just to start. Just download MetaMask, send $5 to your MetaMask on Ethereum, and see how it feels. And then once you have that skin in the game, you'll learn more. And then there's plenty of people who are more than happy to answer your questions on Twitter, on Reddit, even myself. If we leave my contact info in here, I will answer any and all crypto questions that come my way.
Amazing. And yes, we'll get your contact info a little bit later on. Now, when it comes to ShopX and how to use it and, the company itself, what else can you say? Like, who else is at the company? Who else is backing it that, people will feel a little bit more secure and a little bit, and that they want to go in and invest now and buy those eNFTs and get those utilities and get those, Costco membership privileges now while it's the right time. And what other advice do you have for artists that are been thinking about it, that are just a little bit too scared, who don't have a community, and ShopX sounds like the perfect solution to them? How do they go about starting?
The easiest, so ShopX in terms of getting started, it's very simple. Presently, we're a plugin for Shopify. So as a brand, you just download ShopX app, you get approved, and then you can deploy your own smart contract within less than 3 minutes. People can mint from there. It's so easy. My grandma was able to do it, and my cousin was able to do it during testing. So we're on Shopify, we're on WooCommerce. In terms of you're an artist just trying to get started, again, just create a simple Shopify store, launch your pass from there. We are working with like an additional music artists and whatnot, and I'm happy to share what's worked for them because instead of like trying to get a piece of the pie, let's increase the pie for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And in terms of people downloading the app, right now we have over 150 Shopify app downloads,
Yeah.
all organic. I won't say a lot of our partners just because of NDA reasons, but we were happy to announce that we partnered with Fox Studios' Cryptopolis. If you've heard of Rick and Morty, their new show comes out, so it's by the same guy, Dan Harmon. That comes out 2023, and they're incorporating NFTs into that show to enhance the viewer experience. So if you made a crap chicken, as they're called, you can get on TV potentially. You can have some voting rights on what happens to the show. It's gonna be a cool thing.
I love that. Well, congratulations on that deal. That's very exciting. Yes,
Yeah.
I do know Rick and Morty very well. Eric, this has been amazing. Is there anything else that you'd like to add that I forgot to mention or forgot to add about ShopX or about yourself that you want to let our listeners know so that, and then we'll get to your contact info. Don't worry in the end.
That's fine. Yeah, so ShopX is really a technology platform that is here to help people in any way we can. So if you're curious about ShopX, again, reach out and we'll find a way to work with you. Something I personally want to stress is if you're new to getting into crypto, it's very important that you take custody of your crypto seriously. So for example, if you had money on FTX, it'd be gone. I'm not going to give any advice. I personally use Ledger and Trezor. Mm-hmm. So if you are new to crypto and want to get into space, please take care of your own cryptocurrency because the responsibility does lie on you.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and that's one of the aspects that are about this world, but There's pros and cons to it, but at the end of the day, you'll have ownership of it, which is very, very important. And again, yes, the unnamed company with the unnamed owner where, they weren't even actually buying cryptocurrency. And unfortunately, it's very sad for a lot of those people, but yes, very important to take control of your own cryptocurrency. Eric, you have been amazing. Now, before I let you go, of course, if you want to drop your handle, ShopX handle, as well as contact information and where people can find you and across all medias.
So the best place to get in contact with ShopX is through our website, shopx.co. Our Twitter and Instagram handle are ShopX Labs. Me personally, I'm Eric D. McHugh. So all of those DM channels are open. If you're curious, just shoot us an email, schedule a demo, and yeah, we'll take it from there.
Awesome. And I'll make sure to drop all of those handles and the website in the description so you can find that there. But Eric McHugh, you have been amazing. Thank you so much for being a guest on the Tea with B.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a blast.